Okay, we are beginning now. Thank you.
So the topic that I wanted to present about was how walking and taking regular walks are positive for our physical and mental health. I chose this because it is something that I find to be a good way to release stressful and anxious thoughts, because the effect it has on our minds and bodies are many. Here are some difficult words that I used. A prescription is an instruction written by a doctor that gives the patient the authorization to take a medicine or treatment. I also included the flu, just in case someone didn't know what that is, but that's the influenza. And a placebo is a substance given to someone who is told that it's regular medicine, even though it's not, either to make the person feel as if they're getting better or to compare the effect of the medicine when given to others. So it's basically something that is given to try to satisfy a person who has not been given the thing they really want. Walking is one of the most common prescriptions that doctors hand out. The director of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention calls it the closest thing we have to a wonder drug, and it truly is. Just taking short walks every day or every other day comes with tons of benefits for your health. Here are just some examples of what it does. Walking neutralizes the effect of our weight-promoting genes. Researchers at Harvard University observed obesity-promoting genes in over 12,000 people to determine how much they contribute to our body weight. They discovered that among the participants in the study who walked for about an hour a day, the genes were cut in half. It can even help tame a sweet tooth. Studies have been made at the University of Exeter, and they display that a 15-minute walk can restrict cravings for chocolate and even reduce the amount of chocolate we eat in stressful situations. Later studies present that this also includes a variety of sugary snacks. We already know that any type of physical activity minimizes the risk of breast cancer. But newer studies show that women who walk for 7 or more hours a week have a 14% lower risk of getting breast cancer than those who walk 3 hours or less a week. It can even help protect you during cold and flu season by boosting your immune system. A study of over 1,000 men and women found that those who walked at least 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, had over 40% fewer sick days than those who exercised once a week or less. And if they get sick, it lasted for a shorter period of time and their symptoms were much milder. Walking also contributes to your mental health. They are distressing, minimizes anxiety and depressive thoughts due to the endorphins that gets released into the body. Therapists often recommend walking to their patients. Even writers use walking as a way to boost their creativity. This is a bit of a side note, but I wanted to see walking from another perspective, so I decided to watch a TED Talk by a woman named Sandra James, and she is a former city planner. In her presentation, which she calls The Transformative Power of Walking, she talks about many benefits of walking, but the one that stood out to me was about how it could be socially and morally beneficial. She mentions how if you're walking on a sidewalk or in a city, you are increasing your chance of having personal interfacing and connections with other people you see on the street, which is very important for our mental health. She also mentioned a few different projects that have been made in the US and Canada. One of them started when a couple in Vancouver placed a bench by the curb outside their house, and Sandra, as a city planner of that area, had been told to turn the street, which stretched for 40 blocks, into a neighborhood and family-friendly street. From the beginning, it had cases of street racing, illegal drug activity, and prostitution. But this couple that placed the bench on the street noticed that it wasn't prostitutes or drug dealers who used the bench and walked on the street. It was the old couple that aren't driving anymore, that are walking all the way up to the grocery store and use the bench for resting on their way back. It's also the grandparents who sat outside in the sun waiting for the kids in the school across the street to get out. And this started a project called Blooming Boulevards, where Sandra and the residents in the area planted small gardens on the patches of land between the houses and the curb. And that led to more people actually walking outside and using the street outside. Another topic she took on was about a study made on participants with depression. 35,000 people participated. Half of them were given antidepressants. The other half were given a placebo, which was a sugar pill, and also walking. And you can probably guess what happened. The people who were given the sugar pill and walking completely outperformed the ones who were given the regular antidepressants. And this just shows how amazing walking is for our mental health. I definitely feel the benefits when I walk and take regular walks, because they have a very distressing effect on me. And despite not having that much time, the times I've had the opportunity, both as a preparation for this assignment, but also earlier, I've definitely felt less anxious and less stressed. Sometimes I can just walk by myself, and sometimes listening to music or podcasts, or just letting my thoughts flow free. And sometimes I can have someone with me, which is great for when you just want someone to listen and go over your thoughts with. It doesn't matter where you walk, how far you walk, or how often you do it. The important thing is that you are doing it, and that's what really matters. So keep on walking. Thank you.